WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Two were left dead in a standoff that lasted more than 30 hours in Itawamba County. The Sheriff Chris Dickinson in Itawamba County can confirm that the 10-year-old hostage is safe. Our Cash Matlock is near the scene with the sheriff and the chief deputy and joins us live with the very latest information. Cash, what can you tell us?
Jory, I'm here in Itawamba County where the standoff that has lasted well over 30 hours has finally come to an end. I'm joined by Chief Deputy Jimmy Sarton as well as Sheriff Chris Dickinson. Sheriff, what can you tell us about the situation?
We're tired. 32 nerve-wracking hours. Our deputies responded to a disturbance call yesterday afternoon around 1 o'clock there at that location. When we got there, the deputies realized that we had more than a disturbance going on. How we knew that, it was very fortunate, and the 10-year-old girl, very savvy and very brave. She was savvy enough to call 911 and tell the dispatch that don't let the deputies near the door because there's danger there, and probably saved those two deputies' lives, the hostage. And I'm very proud of her. We were able to set up communications with the suspect. We were able to talk to him, and he was talking for the 32-hour period. And as long as we could talk to him, we were always able to talk to the little girl. As long as we were able to talk with them, you know, there's hope. And we keep that going. Hills and valleys we go through over the 32 hours. But as it wound on, unfortunately, her father was deceased, and he was deceased before we got there. She became aware of that. They got amped up, and they got tired, and MHP SWAT team did an excellent job. When we saw the opportunity to try to get this come to an end because of the danger and what the dynamics that we had been dealing with for the last 32 hours, MHP took the opportunity to bring this to an end, and she's safe. So, you know, it's bittersweet that, you know, unfortunately her father, but that happened before we got there. But I couldn't talk about it because the suspect had a cell phone and with social media. I had to just leave that alone. That's hard to do because I didn't want the little girl to get amped up. Right. And unfortunately, she wound up anyway. Okay. And then we had to wind up doing what we did.
Okay. Well, Chief Deputy, can you tell me, what was going through your head at the end there when we heard, some shots ring out?
Well, we just felt like, we had some closure, and we were very thankful that, all came to the end, and it was very successful in the ending part of it.
Okay. And is there anything you guys can tell us about how this all started?
I'm not at liberty to go into that. There is an investigation with other agencies, and I don't want to talk about another agency's investigation. But we'll work that out, when the time comes.
Okay. Well, for right now, we're live in Itawamba County. I'm Cash Matlock. I'm going to toss it back to you, Jory, in the studio.
Mm-hmm. And again, thank you, Cash. He was there with the Sheriff of Itawamba County and the Chief Deputy, and they were relaying the latest information to us. We're going to continue to update you as we get more information, including the names of the two that were killed. In other news here in Columbus, a car crashes head-on into a pole earlier this evening. It happened near the intersection of 14th Avenue and 21st Street North near Wells Cleaners. Residents from a duplex across the street say they heard a loud bang after the driver crashed into the pole. The person was taken by ambulance to the hospital with what appeared to be minor injuries. No other cars were involved in this crash, and Columbus police are still investigating. It's now time to get a first look at our weather with meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Jory, some fog is showing up on our sky cam out there right now here in downtown Columbus. That's expected with our warm front lifting off to the north. Temperatures in the middle 50s. They will continue to rise through the night here. A lot of moisture coming in from the East Pacific here. You can see that blue stream carrying that all into our area, and that's going to keep the chance for some heavier rain in place. Watch your temperatures over the last 6 hours. To our south, you can see that surge of warm air coming in our direction. That is going to make it through our area as that warm front continues to lift off to the north. On the north side of that, lots of rain, and that's a very typical view for when we see warm fronts. Lots of heavier rain and storms now lifting off to the Tennessee border. Still, I do think we could see some showers overnight tonight. We'll see some patchy fog also and some breezy south winds continuing on. The low of 55 is where we are at now. We will rise those temperatures into the 60s by morning. Coming up tonight, tomorrow, we'll see this chance for some severe storms here. A slight risk level 2 out of 5 has been issued for parts of our area. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll talk more about these storms, time them out, and list the threats for you. We also have to talk about a little bit of wintry mischief. I've got that and more coming up in just a bit.
In national news, the White House says President Trump has no plans to reach out to Democrats to end the partial federal government shutdown, insisting the ball is in their court. The closure of several federal agencies is now in its second week. Meg Oliver has the very latest.
It appears the partial federal government shutdown, now in its 9th day, will extend into the new year. The White House says President Trump will not reach out to invite Democrats back to the bargaining table.
They know where he is. He's exactly where he's been the entire time, working in Washington, D.C., in the White House.
The president is demanding Congress allocate billions to build a wall along the U.S. southern border.
We need to sit down and pound out a deal.
Senator John Tester told CBS News Face the Nation the Democrats agreed the U.S. needs to shore up its borders.
What's the most effective way to secure that southern border? And that's really what's important here. I think we can do it with technology and manpower and much more effectively than with a wall.
Senator Lindsey Graham had lunch with the president Sunday. He said Mr. Trump may be interested in negotiating a broader immigration agreement that would allow dreamers and some asylum seekers to remain in the U.S.
And he's very open-minded about combining wall funding with other things to make it a win-win for the country.
Hundreds of thousands of government workers are staying home without pay until there's an agreement.
Nobody wins in a shutdown. We all lose, and we kind of look silly.
House Democrats are vowing to introduce legislation to reopen the government when they take control January 3rd. Meg Oliver, CBS News.
Signs of the shutdown are becoming more apparent. Over the weekend, the Environmental Protection Agency told some employees to stay home, and the Smithsonian is preparing to close after the new year. Speaking of New Year, if you plan on having a few adult beverages over the holiday, it's a good idea to have a plan in place before getting on the road. Columbus Police, the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, the Mississippi Highway Patrol, and the Columbus Lowndes Drug Task Force team are partnering up for several safety sobriety checkpoints. Police Chief Fred Shelton says officers will have zero tolerance for people driving under the influence. Checkpoint locations will not be released ahead of time. All 4 agencies will have extra officers and deputies on duty. Well, and as we were just talking about with the new year, we'll soon be ringing in a new year, and fireworks stands are already seeing the perks. Business is already booming at Orbit Fireworks in Columbus. The owner says New Year's Eve is the second busiest holiday for the store, falling right behind the 4th of July. Orbit Fireworks has been open since last week and will stay open until the 2nd of January. The owner says customers come from as far as Alabama. He believes fireworks can bring a spark of happiness this time of year.
Man, it just helps bring the spirit up when you start blowing stuff up. Come on, let us help you blow your old year away and start your new year off right.
It's important to remember that shooting fireworks within the city limits is illegal. And also, when you talk fireworks, you have to talk safety tips as well. They're always important to remember. And Goza has been in the firework business for over a decade and knows all the risks that come with shooting fireworks. He says hands are the most injured body part when it comes to popping fireworks.
I recommend you set them on the ground in a bottle or something like that and, light them and step back and let them go off. You don't want to hold them in your hands and let them go off.
He also adds to always have a bucket of water and a hose nearby in case of accidents. And coming up after the break, we have this week's Mom to Mom, and it's all about cravings.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Jory Talley.
Welcome back, everyone. In tonight's Mom to Mom, we have something for future moms as we talk about pregnancy cravings.
Are you dealing with holiday cravings? Well, I've got the solution for you. I've got Val here with us again today, and this is something that every pregnant mom deals with.
Yep,
And I
cravings.
still deal with cravings.
Cravings.
Please help us.
Yeah, so when you're pregnant, the one thing I knew I was gonna get cravings.
Okay.
No one tells you it's like a demon craving.
Right.
Like it almost pulls you into the kitchen.
It does.
For me, it's been sugar. So this is what I kind of do to steer my cravings and help them a little bit. Things first, I drink so much water. I probably have about over 100 ounces a day, definitely. When you wake up in the morning, you're super hungry. I always tell, even if you're not pregnant, you should always drink a big glass of room temperature water, because that actually will tell your body if you're really hungry or how hungry you are. I want every mom to know it is okay to have these, especially if you're pregnant. But what I always tell them to do is, this is where you take a knife and you just cut it in half or cut it in fourths, because a lot of times we want to taste it, we don't need to indulge in it. I just eat a lot of fruit. This is way better than having this. They both are technically types of sugar, but I will never steer somebody away from fruit.
Right. So for moms out there that want to sign up for your next boot camp, where should they go?
They can go to smofitness.com/trim, and if they put in the code MOM2MOM, and you'll get $10 off, and you'll also get access to our holiday guide for how to survive the holidays.
I love that. All right, now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you all next week on Mom to Mom.
We're watching for some more scattered showers and storms overnight tonight. Breezy conditions with fog also expected. Temperatures will rise tomorrow, setting up the stage for some strong to severe storms. I've got all the details you need to know about that coming up after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
We are seeing some showers in some spots, some patchy fog in other spots across the area, and that's because of our warm front lifting through right now. With that, lots of those showers. Now, the main bulk of them pushing off to the north into Tennessee, but still seeing some rain from Tupelo and Oxford and north, other showers out towards the Delta. I expect some more showers through the area overnight as temperatures climb. We're at the overnight low right now. Temperatures in the 50s. It's 58 in Columbus, 56 in West Point. South winds are really picking up and helping to bring those temperatures up. We'll continue to see them rise here through the overnight hours. With patchy fog expected by 6 a.m. We're in the mid-60s into the afternoon on Monday. Tomorrow, near 70 for many of us. Upper 60s and lower 70s there before that cold front pushes through, bringing us the chance for some showers and storms. Here's how Monday goes. The last day of the year, we start with some showers and patchy fog in the morning. Showers and thunderstorms then are likely late morning into the afternoon hours. We'll wrap things up around the supper time, and temperatures will start dropping behind that cold front. Maybe an isolated storm hangs on around 7 p.m., but I think we are all dry by then. Here's our highs on Monday. 71 in Columbus, 69 in Amory and in Calhoun City, 71 in Louisville, Macon at 72. With the warmth, and this time of year, we have to talk about strong to severe storms. Here's our timing, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Seeing the yellow area is a slight risk by the Storm Prediction Center. That's a level 2 out of 5 for seeing some strong storms in the area. It's a standard risk. It's generally what we expect when we see severe storms. Marginal risk surrounds that. Here's what we're expecting with those storms coming in during the day on Monday. Damaging winds with 60 to 70 miles an hour will be the main threat, as well as flash flooding. Already some spots tonight have seen 1 to 2 inches. We'll add another 1 to 3 inches in some spots throughout the day tomorrow before things dry off. And so flash flooding will be a concern given some of those heavier rains we already saw. As far as the tornado threat goes, a few spin-ups are possible. There's a narrow window of opportunity to see some of those spin-ups in our area. We'll keep our eyes on that throughout the day on Monday. Here's what Futurecast has here. That warm front lifts off to the north with the rain tonight. During the day on Monday, then by 10 a.m., we're seeing a line of showers and storms just off to our west. That line will carry off to the east during the day Monday. Lunchtime along the US 45 corridor by 3 or 4 p.m. West Alabama, and drying things out in our area by 6 p.m. with cooler northwest winds in the area. After this system works its way on through Tuesday, looking mostly cloudy and overall dry during the day. I don't expect a lot to happen. By Wednesday, though, more showers and rain are expected. You'll see some winterish colors off to our west there. That's something that we have to keep an eye on as we head into today, Thursday. An interesting setup plays out for us mid to late week here. We'll see what we hope to see is a low pressure form off to our west, and if that does happen, then if we can pull in plenty of moisture from the south, which will not be a problem, and cold air on the backside there, if this low is strong enough, we very well may have to talk about some wintry mix on the day Thursday, but right now, not guaranteed. We will advertise it as a cold rain and plenty of cold rain to go. Next 7 days, 2 to 3 inches, if not more, in some spots are expected. Most of that rain will fall before Friday. As we look at here, Monday, strong storms, but if you've got New Year's Eve parties, those are looking fine. The ball will drop just fine in our area. Plenty of quiet weather on Tuesday, showers on Wednesday and Thursday. We're warm and dry into the weekend.
Ole Miss may have found its new offensive coordinator. More information coming up next in sports. Stick with us.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Just weeks after former Ole Miss offensive coordinator Phil Longo's departure, reports claiming the Rebels may have found his replacement. Bruce Feldman breaking the news, saying sources confirmed that former Arizona head coach Rich Rodriguez and Ole Miss are currently in discussions for the offensive coordinator position. Rodriguez, known for his offensive mindset, was fired from Arizona back in early 2018 in light of a sexual harassment lawsuit by a former assistant. In his last season at Arizona, Rodriguez boasted a 7-6 record and stood 12th in the nation in total offense. The Rebels finished 2018 with a 5-7 record. We'll continue to update this story as more information becomes available to us. Mississippi State football with only a few days left to slap some pads on and get a few reps in before taking the field to play Iowa. And as the New Year battle approaches, Bulldog fans have been approaching and filing into Florida. Sports Director Tom Ebel reports from Tampa with more.
Thank you, Courtney. Welcome back here to Tampa, Florida. Mississippi State, one more padded practice before the Outback Bowl. It was closed to the media, so we weren't able to get a chance to look at Mississippi State go through its final padded practice before preparation of Tuesday's game. The Bulldogs just have a walkthrough coming up tomorrow inside of Raymond James Stadium. But we did get a chance to catch up with some Mississippi State fans that made the trip here to Tampa, Florida, and watch the Bulldogs take on Iowa for the first time in college football history. The two programs will meet. We were able to catch up with some Mississippi State fans at Three Daughters Brewery in St. Petersburg, about 15 miles or so away from Raymond James Stadium. You knew once the Bulldogs were slated to a bowl game that the droves of maroon and white were going to follow, and a lot of them just say, hey, we're here to watch some football and enjoy some vacation.
We follow them everywhere, men's basketball, baseball,
women's basketball,
Final Four both times, so we just enjoy the experience and the camaraderie with all the Bulldog fans and alumni.
Well, I just think it's part of like the Bulldog spirit. It's like a family. Everybody likes to get together to celebrate. Whether we win or lose, it's still fun.
We've been wanting to come down here anyway and see the St. Pete, Tampa area, and this was the one we were hoping for. We probably weren't going to go to any other bowl games this year, unless they came here.
You get to know the players as people rather than just, somebody that's on your team.
So Mississippi State's going to win. We talked about that.
Yeah.
If you had to give me a final score, what do you think?
41.
To what?
41 to 28.
41-28. I like it. I hope Julia's score prediction of 41-28 comes to life as someone who will be watching the game, but I don't expect that to happen with two top 10 defenses on the field here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. But we're not done just yet at Three Daughters Brewery as part of our 2018-2019 Outback Bowl special, which will air Monday and Tuesday to get you ready for the big game. We'll catch up with Starkville native and former Mississippi State beat reporter Bob Karskadin, as well as getting an in-depth look at the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Mississippi State Bulldogs as we prepare for the one last college football game for North Mississippi coming up on Tuesday. But reporting here in Tampa, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. Courtney will send it back to you in Columbus.
Thank you, Tom. Looks like plenty of fun. Well, a couple of area quarterbacks closing out the NFL regular season with a great matchup. Got those highlights coming up next in sports. Stick with us.
WCBI Sports, exclusive coverage of the Outback Bowl live from Tampa, is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care. Bank First, a better way to bank. Member FDIC. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
It's Eli versus Dak, Ole Miss versus State, and the Cowboys versus the Giants to close out the regular season. Cowboys facing 3rd and 12 in the red zone. Former Bulldog Dak Prescott stands tall in the pocket and finds Jarwin for the touchdown. The Cowboys would lead 7-0 in the second. Some deja vu action here. Prescott finds Jarwin again in the end zone for a nearly identical play on 3rd and 9. The Cowboys lead the Giants by 2 touchdowns. 22 seconds left. Former Rebel Eli Manning drops back and floats it into the end zone. Finds Cody Latimer and makes the one-handed grab for the touchdown. And a nice snag from Latimer to bring the Cowboys back just within 1 possession in the second half now. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd times the charm for Prescott. Throws his 3rd touchdown to Jarwin as he's going to get it into the end zone there, and Dallas extends the lead 21-10 on the ensuing drive. Saquon Barkley takes the handoff, goes up the middle. Watch the man go. He's going to take it 68 yards. Before they're able to put a stop to him and those legs. And then Manning, this time finding Evan Engram. He'd dive in there for the touchdown, just barely making it in. That two-sport athlete action, a diver and a football player. Manning and Engram here, they now go for the 2-point conversion. They're able to get it on in there. And the Giants able to close the gap 21-18. Well, excuse me, that was New York out in front getting 25-21. The Cowboys responding back. Prescott rolls to his right, throws deep to Allen Hurns, takes the ball down to the Giants' 2-yard line. And Rod Smith punching the ball into the end zone to take back the lead, 28-25. With under just 4 minutes to go, Saquon Barkley, watch this man move, leaping over into the end zone, but to get the ball across the goal line would be 32-28 Giants. The Cowboys down by 7. The entire game on the line. Dak Prescott to Cole Beasley to pull out a 32-yard touchdown. An amazing catch by Beasley. They get the conversion to lead by just 1, 36-35. The Giants need to convert a 4th down, but the pass gets broken up, and the win will go to the Cowboys. A crazy game for the Cowboys to get the win. The final 36-35, just shaking on them. They're sliding by to get the win. A huge game for the Cowboys and former Bulldog Dak Prescott. That's going to be it for sports. We'll have the last look at your forecast coming up after the break. Stick with us.
We've added some of our West Alabama counties into a dense fog advisory. We'll see some patchy dense fog overnight tonight as temperatures climb. By tomorrow, we're looking at the 70s out there. The strong storms come on through. By the evening, though, the ball drops. New Year's Eve party is going to be just fine.
Well, that's always good news.
Yes, it is.
Good weather, New Year. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.